You're listening to WLJS in Jacksonville, Alabama. WLJS is the campus radio station of Jacksonville State University. We broadcast from studios in South Hall on the JSU campus. Each weekday, we feature a morning edition from National Public Radio and Performance Today from American Public Media. Thank you for listening to 91.9 FM WLJS.
Did you install it? We did. What did you think? Back to school tech, we got you covered. A dirty deal, an Android bug, hacking cars, hacking guns, a flying car. Hopefully you'll fly to your phone and the guru will take your call. Coming up next.
Hey Techies Show!
Buy it, use it, break it, fix it, trash it, change it, mail, upgrade it, charge it, point it, zoom it, press it, snap it, work it, quick erase it, write it, cut it, paste it, save it, load it, check it, quick rewrite it, plug it, play it, burn it, rip it, drag it, drop it, zip, unzip it, lock it, fill it, call it, find it, view it, code it, jam, unlock it, surf it, scroll it, pause it, click it, cross it, crack it, switch, update it, name it, read it, tune it, print it, scan it, send it, fax, rename it, touch it, bring it, pay it, watch it, turn it, leave it, start, format it. Technologic.
Live from studios in South Hall on the beautiful campus of Jacksonville State University, it's the Hey Techies Show. Now, here are your hosts in chairs that should have been thrown out years ago, Michael and Bruce.
Technologic.
Well, welcome in tonight to this edition of the Hey Techies Show.
The Hey Techies Show!
And Bruce is wired for sound and then some.
Yep. I did not have a monster tonight. I totally forgot it. So
What, did you have a whole Gatorade over there or something?
No, I mean, that was just...
Oh, it's your own concoction.
No, it's
Scary.
But, oh, man, I was thirsty.
And, of course, with us tonight is the guru, as always.
The Guru.
Good evening, folks. How are y'all doing tonight? Michael
Well,
and Bruce.
I'm sure.
Fan-
we're
fantastic.
doing
I thought
well.
you were asking
yeah.
them. I was like, oh,
Well,
no.
they
Why don't
can't-
they call in and tell us?
They can call in and we'll
Yes.
ask them.
782-5600.
That's right.
That's the number, right?
That's correct. 256-782-5600. And if you need to know any more, go to I have done it twice today. I did that, by the way. HeyTechiesShow.com.
Or hit us up on the book face.
That's right, the Facebook and Twitter. And if you really don't want to do any of those, but you want to get a hold of us, questions at HeyTechiesShow.com.
And don't forget we have the live
That's right. You
stream
can go
going on.
to our website, though, and
Yeah,
catch the live stream.
absolutely.
And you just saw us playing instruments if you were already there.
Was
And
it
if you
already?
missed-
Was it already?
Oh, yeah, it was rolling.
Oh, was it rolling?
Yeah, we were rolling.
Man,
We
wow,
were
y'all
playing
should tell me
We were
that.
playing the instruments for Mike.
I was
Stedham.
playing. Yeah, I was playing the air violin.
Yes. Well, so happy to have you, as we said, and I wanted to tell you that we've got a big show tonight. It is packed. Doubt we'll get everything in, and if
We
we get
never
some
do.
calls, I can guarantee we won't, and that'll be great. And so we've got one thing I would like to do tonight, maybe if we can get a call, find out if you installed Windows 10 and what
Tell
have
us
you
your
thought
thoughts.
about? If you had trouble, a lot of people have, a good many have.
So you've got the legit version completely installed.
I've got the legit version completely installed, but it was I guess I tried to do something that I should have thought more about that you just can't do. I mean, but that's what we do. We tinker with things and see it. I don't know. I try to see how far you can push something.
What
but
did you do?
Well, I wiped and just tried to use the Windows 10 media install on a USB.
Did they give you the
and
option
by
to
the
do?
way, it'll do it.
Yeah.
It'll do it, and you can install it, but it will never activate. It will not accept the key. Even if you go in with a product and pull the key out, okay,
Yeah.
you can do that from the firmware.
Yep.
And you can put that in, but it's not going to activate.
Guru.
And then Guru had more information on that.
Yeah, I did something similar, but I wanted a clean install, and they were touting, yes, you can do a clean install with this upgrade, and it is a clean install, sorta. Sorta.
Yeah.
It will if you not by default, but if you boot into your Windows 7 or Windows 8 that you're currently running and run the upgrade, if you just click, click, click and don't do anything, it's going to just do an upgrade.
Right.
But you have an option at one point. You can say, I want to remove all my apps, all my settings, all my stuff.
Start fresh.
Yeah, don't keep, it says what do you want to keep, and you say I want to keep nothing, means delete everything. And you think it's like formatting your hard drive and starting over, but no.
Negative.
It removes your user folder, your program file folder in Windows and reinstalls those, but that's it. If stuff sits out there on the root of your hard disk, it's still there.
Well, I
Still
mean,
there.
So I did 2 different computers, one at home, one at work, and for people that have solid state drives and where resources are limited, granted mine aren't really.
yeah, correct.
Keep in mind that if you do an upgrade, that it's going to keep, because you have 30 days to revert back to your previous OS. So it's going to keep a cache of files.
Right.
And if you can go to the disk cleanup and actually get rid of it, I want to say it was about 25 gigs that it was saving from.
Yeah.
Because I upgraded from Windows 7.
That's going to be a big section of a hard drive that might be 128 gigs already, or 256 gig. I'm talking about
solid state. I have 500, and the other one was 250.
But like these Surface devices, I mean, they have 128 or 256.
Oh yeah,
solid
but I mean,
state. It's not Bruce's like super duper PC.
I will tell you this. My suggestion for anyone owning a Surface, if you have one and you haven't really messed it up, if you haven't done a lot of stuff, I'm serious about this. If you haven't gone out and installed this thing that keeps some pop-up going, you know what I'm talking about. I suggest just an upgrade. Don't do any of the fancy stuff, because I think you're going to have problems. I just from my experience today, I think you're going to have problems.
Just take the Beyonce approach.
Yeah, I guess so.
Let me upgrade you. So
okay.
I mean, I've got my reservations about 10. It didn't break anything. I will say that. Of course, there's a whole, as far as the security sector goes, there's people up in arms.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm not an attorney, so the whole legalese that they put in there, I mean, we can talk about that later, but just know that there are some privacy concerns, whether they're warranted or not. Don't take my word for it, I guess. And normally that would be something I could say without a shadow of a doubt. You should be concerned about stuff. And with this, my verdict, I have not reached a verdict yet on that. I'm leaning towards you should be concerned.
No, you always are leaning to that.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah, but just know that because when I did the upgrade, I just went ahead and said use express settings, the suggested ones, and normally I would not do that, but time was of the essence. Get it installed, use it before the show, and I didn't even read the EULA, which I normally do. So
goodness.
it was because time was an issue, and my hands were full.
Well, I'll say this: you don't have to be in a huge rush. You have a year.
Very true.
Wednesday, so you have
till today.
Well, I'm saying you have this free upgrade that Microsoft is offering. It's good until July 29th of next year. So don't feel like you've got to go out and do it this week or this month.
You got to get it. You've got to.
And another thing, back your stuff up before.
Well, that's a first.
I know, but I'm just.
Oh, I agree with you. We need to reiterate
back
that.
up your data.
Absolutely, that's a must.
Yes.
If you do any upgrades like this, I would highly suggest.
I'll say
backing up
this:
your data.
if we got time to talk about this a little bit, as far as our experiences installing it on one of my computers.
Yes.
Oh, that's what we're talking about? Okay. So, not sure if I had mentioned this while I have a fireball in my mouth. That on one of my PCs, so both of them that I have them in, I have 2 graphics cards in each PC on SLI. So on the newer one, actually, whenever it came up, it installed the driver, and they're the exact same card, not across computers, but inside the computers.
Right.
I think one's a 960 and the other one's a 790. So on the 960, it installed the driver for one of them, but not the other. So on my 5 monitors, only 3 of them came up. But after it came up, I went through and saw that one of the drivers weren't installed. Just said install driver. It installed it real quick. And the other monitors came up. Now on the other machine, it installed both sets of drivers just fine. And I installed them around the exact same time. So it wasn't like they had time to do an update or anything. I mean, they both clicked off at the same time. So
interesting.
I'm not sure if maybe it was. I mean, it just logically doesn't make sense to me because they had the driver for it because it loaded one of them. I don't know what happened that it didn't load both. But that was really my only hiccup as far as installing it went. Other than that, everything went very smoothly.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a story.
Yeah, you've got several.
Well, the whole upgrade thing, me and you, Michael, talked about that off air, but we kind of covered the gist of it. But I'm a Mac person. I'm the apple juicer of the group, and I'm running Windows in a virtual machine on my Mac.
Took him 12 days to install it.
No, it did not.
It's been out 12 days
on a Mac.
No, but I was never getting the upgrade notification on my VMs for Windows 7 and Windows 8 that, hey, you can reserve your copy. I was never getting that. And I did some research last week, and I had all the updates in the program that Microsoft pushed out through a Windows Update that tells you
KB303.
Yeah, that. And, it checks your system for if you're, compatible for Windows 10.
Not the exact number.
And what it was is the video driver for VMware that Windows uses.
Yeah.
Microsoft said it was not compatible, even though it was actually compatible. I mean,
technically it wasn't ready.
Well, I haven't put any updates to VMware, but I went ahead and upgraded. I made a snapshot, and I backed up my installation before I actually did the upgrade.
Yeah.
And I put it in, and it's working fine. So it's like, I don't know, Microsoft and VMware were having their issues or what, I don't know, but it's working today. It's working fine on.
If only I could legally put a Mac VM on a machine
good luck.
that wasn't their hardware. No, I mean, I could do it, but not legally. Not legally.
He hasn't done that, by the way.
Sure.
Yeah, go with that.
But anywho.
That's not going to ever happen. I'm sorry. They're not going to ever. I don't ever see them giving that one up. They want their stuff on their hardware.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where they're making. Well,
they're a hardware company. That's what they say.
Yeah. No, that is it.
And, yeah.
No
Cisco's
question.
a software company.
Yeah. That's right. Well.
So.
Yes.
I was just going to, are we still talking about
yes.
10? Okay.
Yeah,
so
I'm not done.
Well, I'll tell my story. As far as one of the things that I have, and it's not really with the OS, it's with the built-in mail app. Mm-hmm. So normally I'm all for checking my mail in my browser. That's just the way I've always done it. I hate Outlook. I hate mail clients, Thunderbird, all that. I hate them. So I was like, well, it's a new OS. We'll try something new. So I did the mail app, put my Gmail, my work email, the Office 365 email, kind of put them all in there. Don't like it. I like that I get the notifications. That's really neat in 10. You get the little notification that pops up. You've got the little, saying, hey, there's stuff. So it did not like my signature. I guess it was too long and it broke it. So whenever I went to go send an email, it would crash the mail app. And I couldn't put our logo in, I couldn't put a picture in my signature. And I hate that there's a lot of opt-out stuff and not opt-in. Because it was automatically the signature was set to sent from 10 mail or something, Windows 10 mail, and I was like, that's so stupid. I hate the whole sent from my Verizon phone, 4G phone, or sent from my iPhone.
They want you to get Office 365 and
they're
Outlook.
just they're advertising in your email,
your
signature, and I hate that. I like Mikey's though. It's not sent from my phone. And that I like, but let me, like, that's my signature, not your signature. That's my email.
Yeah,
and that just bugs me. But the mail app, I'll probably still run it just so I get the notifications, but then I'll keep it in a browser, and then reply from there. But they've still got and it didn't switch well because I would really like to be able to see them all in one view as they come in, but you have to go and switch between accounts. And sometimes when I would switch, it wouldn't switch to the right account. It would show like my work email, but then all my Gmail stuff would be on there, and it was just
Right.
it was it's got some work. Of course, I'm sure there's some stuff, and I know that's not really the OS we're talking about, but it's an application that's default in the OS. So that's my beef.
yeah.
It's a free app.
It's a free
It
app.
is a free app.
And they're doing a lot of freemium stuff. A lot of people have
Yes.
been complaining about solitaire, and I'm just like, who buys a computer, which I'm sure there's plenty, buys a computer just to play solitaire?
Well, we talked about there was going to be some things, and we've talked about several
Yeah.
weeks that there was going to be some things that's not on there.
Well, I set up a computer years ago for my grandparents, and my grandfathers, all he did was play solitaire and hearts on it.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, some
that's
folks, that's
it.
how they, they.
What's wrong with that?
But it's
enjoy
like
it.
it's like $2 a month to remove advertisements from solitaire. So that's what when it's freemium,
Oh.
you get
So
advertisements.
solitaire is on there, but there's ads.
Yeah,
Oh,
But you have to pay $2 a month.
$2 a month, and then
There's just not a one-time fee.
I don't know. I want to say there was some other option.
Good grief.
Maybe it was like $6 a year or something. I don't know.
software as a service. It's here, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they're doing.
Well, see, that's not going to get me because I just don't care.
I'll just do without.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me my paperback
Oh, man.
Sudoku book.
Well, that's the thing is they're going to alienate
Sudoku,
people
whatever.
because
it's called.
people are going to offer that stuff online for free.
Yeah, I
with-
know.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, whenever I was going through my undergrad, that was one of the things we did is we built. I think it may have been poker, but I
Yeah.
would say we did a solitaire game too, and I had even put all these different skins on it, and it was really made it customized. But anyways,
Well, give us a call, 256-782-5600, and we will take your call.
Hey Techies Show!
Yeah.
Supplies for school all throughout the year. From books to binders, pencils to Scantrons, Jacksonville Bookstore has it all. They are open Monday through Saturday with convenient hours and location on 302 Mountain Street Northwest in Jacksonville. To find out more, like them on Facebook or call 256-435-7407. Jacksonville Bookstore, a proud patron of WLJS.
Jacksonville Tan is a proud patron of WLJS, serving Jacksonville and surrounding areas since 1987. At their location at 115 Francis Street East, next to Walgreens. Jacksonville Tan knows a thing or two about healthy glow, offering 16 tanning beds and virtually no wait times. A great tan is never out of the question. For more info, call them at 256-435-1770.
Gamecock Jury and Pond is a proud patron of WLJS 91.9 FM. Located at 215 Pelham Road, Gamecock Jury and Pond has everything you need from TVs, laptops, CDs, video games, and much more. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday and 10 to 3 on Saturdays, Gamecock Jury and Pond is ready to get you cash in a flash. For more info on Gamecock Jury and Pond, call 256-435-8806.
Welcome back to the Hey Techies Show. So glad to have you with us.
I'd like to be.
Well, now, that's a good sound right there because we did not have the terrible static.
that is true, and we figured out what the issue
We do
was,
believe. We
because
know
we're
what-
techies.
Yeah, we do believe. By a series of trial and error, and
Well, we did testing. I mean,
we did
that's-
testing.
That's
That's,
what
right.
you gotta
That's what
do.
you do.
That's right.
You
Yeah.
have a hypothesis and you test it.
And if Billy, if you're listening, I think we did definitely figure out that that's the deal.
And we went ahead and deleted the problem.
Yeah, no, we didn't do that.
No.
We didn't delete the drop, but we're not using it. So
Which stinks. That was a good drop.
yeah. Well, anyway,
So more
what
on
I-
Windows 10.
Yes, more on Windows 10. And I know we're not trying to bore anybody, but I think it's important that if you're going to do this, and actually,
What
I
are you
think
doing?
if you're going to upgrade it, I think you should. If your space is close on your hard drive, then I think you should seriously consider cleaning up first.
Well,
If
it'll
you-
prompt you and say, "Hey,
yeah,
can
but
additional."
like I
in the,
have 60 gigs, and I'm uncomfortable with that. I have 60 gigs free.
What it will do is say if you don't have enough space, it'll ask you to either put in an external hard drive, or some other type of media stored on something different.
Right.
You can plug in a thumb drive or an external hard drive. If you have another internal hard drive, you can use that. But make sure to keep that if you ever decide you want to go back within the 30 days, because that's where it's going to store all those files.
Oh, okay.
So that's
very
what
important.
Because I upgraded it on one of the Intel compute sticks.
Yes.
And we had already installed stuff on it, and space on that is very limited.
Yeah.
So I had to put a micro SD card in it and tell it to offload it there, and it'll tell you exactly how much how much space it needs.
Right.
So if it's able to put some of it on one place and another, but just make sure if you plan on, or even if you think like I may go back, then definitely keep track of wherever you put that.
And I know some people are saying, I'm a Mac guy or girl or whatever you are, and I don't care anything about Windows, and I understand that.
I don't care anything about Mac.
And then there's people that did not care anything about Mac either. And so we all like what we like, but I think there's going to be some things I do like about it. Now, it has, for some people like that deal on a business level all the time, like I mostly do, is deal on a enterprise level. Yep. Some of the things that I like the most are buried now. They're a little more difficult to find. I like several of the default icons on the desktop when I'm dealing with a computer, and now you've got to go into some settings and then into themes and then into desktop icons to turn it. And I know some people did. Who cares?
And a lot of that you can control through group policy and Active Directory. But
but I don't have everybody on.
I know, but that's another problem. I mean, everybody should.
But I'm not. I'm wondering. That's another thing too. I'm wondering. Most enterprise, and rightly so, is slow to the uptake on these new OSs, specifically because of things that they're going to change drastically, and things they don't, may not do as well as they did before. And so,
and when you're relying on third-party software, it's got to be certified, because you run that software on an unsupported operating system and something goes wrong, they're not going to be able to support
They'll
you.
say sorry.
Yep,
yeah,
they will.
And of course, I know we're probably talking to a lot of consumer.
For the average, person, 99.9%.
Right.
Just
but now
put it in at your convenience. If you don't want to fool with it, you can keep running Windows 7, Windows 8 for now, and then next time you buy a computer, you'll be getting Windows 10.
So if you're really wanting to do about the most clean install, what we call a fresh install that you can do, here's what I suggest doing. Number one, you got to back up your stuff, and don't attempt this unless you know a little bit about it. If you're just your average user, unless you're okay with maybe screwing the whole thing up, goofing up the whole machine, then I seriously consider maybe second guessing yourself on this. But if you want to attempt it, back up your stuff. You can take if you have an original disk that came with your machine, you can go in there and put it in, boot to it, and wipe the drive and reinstall Windows. And because that came with your machine, and I know some don't have them anymore, then you'll be able to get it back up to whatever latest version. So if it's Windows 7, you'll have to get it back up to the latest version, whatever the updates, then go do the install.
Yep.
And then that should give you about the cleanest upgrade that you're going to get right now, because we did find out, I know we've mentioned it, but we did find out you can't do that. Guru called Microsoft, and they told him, nope, you can't use that just to upgrade it.
Yeah, the free upgrade, you have to upgrade. You cannot do a clean install, even though you can go out to Microsoft's site right now and download the ISO, which basically is a disk image, and burn it to a DVD.
Right.
It'll boot, and it'll let you install it, but your product key will not work. And there are articles on the internet that I found that say, do the upgrade from Windows 7 or 8 to 10, and then you can run this script and get your product key, which has been converted to Windows 10, and that's supposed to work. I tried it. It does not work. The
Yeah.
product key says it's invalid, but if you just skip it and go and install it, and you boot in that first time, you don't have a product key. You're not activated. You try to activate.
Yeah.
Sorry, you got to pay for it now.
I'm kind of curious what the product key shows from that script versus like if you use Magic Jelly Bean, what it would show.
That's a good question. I didn't try that.
You had your opportunity.
I'm sorry.
We'll do it again. So let's talk to the gamers pretty
Yes.
quick. So what they'll be interested in is DirectX 12.
Yes.
And I checked both of mine, and they're not only supported, but they have DirectX 12 now, and GTA 5 runs great. So it doesn't break that. I haven't tested any other games.
So grateful about that.
Absolutely. I mean,
That's the most important thing. Yeah.
First is as far as Intel processors go, if you have the Intel Haswell, the 4th generation core series, or the Broadwell 5th generation core processors, those will support DirectX 12. And we'll go ahead and skip further down this article because it doesn't make sense to go from Intel to AMD back to NVIDIA. So if you have an NVIDIA card, the GeForce 600, 700, and 900 series graphics card and GTX Titan series do support it. If you have a 400 or 500 series, NVIDIA said they will be coming out with some compatibility patches. And if you've upgraded and you have the 6 through 900 series or the Titan series, and you don't see, if you go to DX Diag, so just hit Windows DX Diag, it'll show you in there what DirectX version you're on. If you've upgraded and you have one of those and it's not working, go update your driver, and then you'll probably see that. For AMD, the Radeon HD 7000 series and 8000 series, and the R7, R9 series graphics cards, the following APUs, which is where the CPU and GPU are in the same chip. The AMD A4, A6, A8, A10-7000 AP, and let's see, they repeat that again. The E1, A4, and A10 6000, the E1, E2, A4, A6, A8 6000 are all DirectX 12 compatible. So if you have those, you're in the clear. If not, you're not.
And
All
if you're
this
like
will be in the
me,
show notes.
if you're like me and you lost track about halfway through, just email Bruce at heytechieshow.com.
Absolutely.
And he'll go over it with you.
Man, if a gamer's out there and they heard that, they're like, that's mine, I'm good. I'm telling you, every gamer knows their system.
Is that overclocked?
No, that's not, but that could have been.
Has it got headers?
Sure.
Has it got water coolers?
It's got a flux capacitor.
Flux capacitor.
Flux capacitor.
So we'll. But no, I mean, it's the article will be on
My
there.
goodness.
I mean, I'm sure people want to know, and I'm sure if they heard, I mean, it probably clicked and a little ding, and they're like, "Oh, that's me. I'm good." So I know my system's good and it's running great. Really wish I wouldn't use Express settings. Cause there's a lot
So
of stuff
speaking of gaming,
Yep.
how about this one?
Okay.
How about drug testing coming to esports? Did you hear about that?
Yes.
Wow.
The Electronic Sports League, the world's largest esports league, will begin randomly drug testing players at its competitive video game tournaments.
You catch them on ESPN, the Ocho.
Yeah, they actually. Apparently,
Seriously?
No,
no. They're what they were on ESPN,
But not the whole Ocho is it's an inside. Oh, it's a joke.
the organization boasts around 5 million players.
Yep.
And they're going to create and enforce rules surrounding the use of performance-enhancing drugs. One particular player, and I think his handle is Semphis, Semphis. I think it's Semphis, admitted during an interview that he and his team used the drug Adderall during an ESL tournament in March, where players competed for $250,000.
Keeps your hands from shaking.
In prize money. Well, apparently Adderall is the one, particularly that they're concerned that they're using.
Well, I
It's
mean,
supposed to
I
give
can definitely-
focus.
I can definitely see how that's performance enhancing. I mean, because I mean, it's an adrenaline rush. I mean, especially if it's an FPS or something. But now I'm kind of curious that our listeners out there, if they follow any of these people, because really I could care less who the best gamer in the world is. All I know is I'm getting headshots and I'm taking people out and I'm having fun. I could care less if who I'm playing, or what that guy's doing. And because I mean, it's more of a leisure thing for me, and not a sport. But I could see how some people would get interested into that and be like, "Oh, I love that guy. He's so awesome."
Now, ESL told Motherboard, I think that's the magazine, I guess, is what they're talking about. We have no way of knowing whether Simphus, despite what he said, actually has taken Adderall or not.
Maybe he's leading everybody on so the other teams
They can't punish someone if we're not 100% sure he's guilty.
Yeah. Maybe he has a prescription for it. What are they going to do in that sense? Like, I have ADD and I need it.
I don't know.
Sorry, can't compete.
Yeah. So apparently that's a big deal in that world. I found several articles. Well, I guess it is. I found several articles, and to finish this up, did you know that esports is in the dictionary now?
Oh, really?
Yes. Yep.
I mean, they're keeping records and stuff for it. It's like, no, his 16-1 KD cannot go in the record book because he was on performance-enhancing drugs.
It is considered a noun,
He's the Mark McGuire of
which the website defines as competitive tournaments of video games.
You think three guys talking sports will start covering that? We should talk to them about that.
Yeah.
Should be like, what I really want to hear about is esports.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk to them. They've been off for the past few weeks, I guess, on vacay.
So. Well, when we come back, hopefully we'll have a call.
256-782-5600.
And we are going to move on.
Are we?
Yes.
Okay. Hey Techies Show.
We'll be back.
Jacksonville Bookstore offers supplies for school all throughout the year. From books to binders, pencils to Scantrons, Jacksonville Bookstore has it all. They are open Monday through Saturday with convenient hours and location on 302 Mountain Street Northwest in Jacksonville. To find out more, like them on Facebook or call 256-435-7407. Jacksonville Bookstore, a proud patron of WLJS.
Jacksonville Tan is a proud patron of WLJS, serving Jacksonville and surrounding areas since 1987. At their location at 115 Francis Street East, next to Walgreens. Jacksonville Tan knows a thing or two about healthy glow, offering 16 tanning beds and virtually no wait times. A great tan is never out of the question. For more info, call them at 256-435-1770.
Wise Guys Pizzeria and Bar is ready to satisfy your taste buds with a wide variety of pizza and other Italian treats. Located at 7113 US 431 Alexandria, Alabama, they are open Monday through Saturdays from 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. For more information, like them on Facebook or call 256-820-0888. Wise Guys Pizzeria and Bar is a proud patron of WLJS.
Welcome back to the Hey Techies Show. Hope you're doing well.
We're rocking out here.
Apparently so.
Well, man, didn't have to cut it down.
Well,
I'm sorry.
No, it was good. That's perfect. I think they start singing about 15 seconds in, so it was perfect, Guru. Well, we want to start covering our Bruce says no. We want to start covering our back to school. We decided
back to college.
That we would, back to college, back to school. There's a lot of things going on locally here, obviously, in the Jacksonville area. We have a big loss as far as our technology director, Anthony Kingston, left. And I'm going to tell you, they don't know it yet, but that's going to be a huge loss. Some do.
They got a bargain with him.
Yes. He was doing multiple jobs for one price, and I can't blame him. And I wish him all the best.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Going to miss Anthony.
And I think that's the way people treat IT people in general.
Yeah.
Is they don't realize, they have no clue what we do.
Oh.
And we'll be happy to tell you what we do. You just got to ask.
Right.
But most people are just like,
well, hopefully it hopefully it will not be the problem that I'm afraid it's going to be.
Oh, it's going to be a problem.
I hope it's not.
What are we talking
but
about?
my kid goes to school there. I'm hoping it will not be.
Currently, I do not have, except for my tax dollars. That's what I have vested in this. But
pardon me. But now
you're pardoned.
Yeah. What I'm getting at is I think one thing, the network itself is going to be a concern.
Oh yeah,
up there because people don't. That's a lot of work to keep going. It's not just forget it and leave it. It doesn't work at that level.
And people don't realize the money it takes.
Yeah.
And this was something we were talking about before the show with, you said Gadsden City School?
Yes, we're going to bring that in just a minute.
So we'll talk about in a minute what they've invested in their devices. And whenever we went to one of the universities that was kind of a pioneer in this one-to-one, originally for every dollar they spent on a device, they spent $2 on infrastructure. And I will tell you this, their infrastructure today is nowhere close to being as good as what JSU has. I was really surprised. Now, I'm not sure with them being a private college that they don't get the same education rates that we do, and that could have been a reason why they had to spend so much. But we definitely we've laid a better foundation, but now we're getting caught up on other parts that they already had. But I think we're definitely getting to where, and with the little amount of funding that we were given, we've done a lot with.
Now, the question on the table that I want to start out with is basically, what is the right product for your child going to school? Because a lot of the areas, they cannot afford this one-to-one in many areas. In most areas, there's not going to be it's going to be very difficult, especially the county schools are going to have a difficult time funding these one-to-one programs. So they really have a hodgepodge of bring your own device.
Yep.
And, of course, you need to check with your local community on what is the best device.
Yeah, I think your local school system should have something that states this is our plan.
But now, of course, there's different ones. Obviously, there's the iPad. And also I noticed that some on our list was the Microsoft Surface. You could get the 3, or the Pro. There are two different versions. The 3's a lot less money. Now, these are things that I don't necessarily say you have to have. I'm just saying that we're talking about down the list here. There's also, you could go, there's a soon-to-be-released Galaxy S Tab 2. But I think what most people in the bring-your-own-device area is probably phones. I don't attend one of these schools, so I'm not in there all the time.
So my niece has, she goes to a county school. And she takes, I don't know, she has an iPad mini, but she also has a Kindle Fire. She took that with her, and
that's mentioned on here.
She probably takes both. She likes both, and I just, when it's the whole BYOD, I had to make sure I get that right. I can see how it's going to be more difficult for the teacher to have a uniform classroom.
That's what I was about to chime in, because I have a family member that is a teacher in one of these BYOD school districts.
Yeah.
And the school system has been able to provide some funding for like a couple of devices for each teacher to use in the classroom, like in groups.
Sure.
And she has several iPads, and because that's what she was given, as a couple of them. So she's very familiar with that device and that environment. And I've talked to her about this. So what do you think about this BYOD? And thinking about some of these teachers, they just don't have enough exposure to different platforms like Kindle and for the Android and all this. So it becomes a hodgepodge. It's very difficult for these teachers, which they're professionals. They know how to teach our children, but they're not IT professionals. They don't know how to use these devices as well as those that are in the profession.
Yeah, and I think that's been, this is kind of off topic, but that's but still on topic. But that's been a lot of the problem, is that they go out with this, here's a device, or here's the pretty much here's the device, but they haven't taught these teachers how to utilize these devices. They haven't checked to see if they even know how. But I will say, one of the ladies we work with, she is an apple juicer, and especially with this whole hodgepodge of devices, she is all about Google because it will work across all devices. So she actually prefers, using Google services for that, because then it doesn't matter if you have an Android tablet, or because I can put it on Google Drive, iPad can get to it, or your Android.
But the problem comes in is when these teachers want to use this in the curriculum with apps.
Yeah,
are those apps cross-platform? Which some of them are.
Some of them are. Some
are not.
Yep.
And that's the thing.
So.
And I think JSU tries to reach out to the schools through the core initiative to try to help these teachers better use the technology. Yeah. But now it's a challenge for our educators.
Now here's a couple of things. At the college level, you really need to check on several things before you're going to send off little Jimmy or little Jane or whatever to college, and because the reason I'm bringing this up is because they may qualify at that university for a product. Like there's going to be
well, we can go ahead and say this. At JSU, there's going to be select courses that they will receive to use for that semester.
Right, an iPad Mini. I think it's going to be an iPad Mini.
Absolutely, it is an iPad
But the thing is, once they complete that course, they return the device.
Correct.
So, so that is correct. The next semester they may not have that device.
That is correct. I know that. That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm saying. But my point is that you might want to check before you go. My thinking is in some areas, not necessarily high school, but we're trying to cover with a broad brush here.
Yeah.
In college, I think you might want to go a few weeks and see what you're going to have to need.
Yeah.
Maybe I think that's a wise decision, and then figure out
because. Even if you don't go to JSU, I mean, every college is going to have computer labs that are available.
Most of them do.
They should have a computer lab available to where that first week or so you can, if you need to do something, you'll have something available.
And if you know what your concentration is going into college as a freshman, then you kind of already have an idea of, this is the type of device I need.
Right.
If you're doing computer science, computer information systems, an iPad is not for you, unfortunately. But if you're doing,
unfortunately,
well, it depends. It depends on what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Hopefully, anyway. But if you're like an art major or something, you may need a Mac.
If you're trying to code for learning apps and coding for apps, then
that's
really
true.
Well, I mean,
tablet's going to be right for you.
Well, it's going to be an accessory.
Yeah, I know. I was just bringing that up. I was just going. The point is, you're going to have to find the right niche.
What kills me?
Huh?
I was going to say what kills me is people that have just a Mac, and usually that works as far as programming goes up until they get to COBOL.
Well,
you can't write COBOL.
Yeah, because you're right. Because NetBeans and some of the Java IDEs, they work cross-platform. COBOL. But you can run in the virtual machine.
You can. Yes. You absolutely can.
You're gonna.
There's an extra cost involved of purchasing VMware Fusion or whatever. I mean, there's free alternatives, but still you got to have the license for the OS. And depending on the school you go to, that may be available to you at no cost if the school subscribes to the Microsoft stuff.
Now another thing to note is word processing.
Yes.
Word processing, at least here at JSU. As long as you're enrolled as a student, you're not going to have to be concerned about purchasing that. You're going to get it included as long as you're here at JSU with Office 365.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of universities. Now, I know we're talking about universities. We're going to step back to K-12 too. There's a lot of universities that are doing this, that are going this route, or they're going the Google route. And I wanted to bring up, too, you should not forget about Chromebook. That's a possibility for some of these to cut down on your cost, and you'll still have a product that would work at a school, even maybe a bring your own device.
I think this was last year, I believe. It was Randolph County. They're doing the Chromebooks.
Yeah, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong about this. I thought Heflin was doing Chromebooks.
Maybe it's Cleveland County. I'm thinking not Randolph County, but one of those two counties, they're doing one-to-one with Chromebooks, but you're talking like a $200 device. But if you got the wireless infrastructure, really all you need.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that people need to know. Like, if you're going with a Chromebook, is that school system ready to handle that? Because I can tell you, some of the school systems around here
Right, won't be.
nowhere close.
Yeah.
So, they may say, "Yeah, we have wireless in our schools; it'll work."
Now, all of these products, and we're fixing to head to break here, and we're going to cover some more, but all of these products can be found either online or at your local store. You can, Best Buy,
They don't have it.
They don't have. Well, they probably do. Speaking of that, Best Buy is going to get the Apple Watch. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I saw that. I have no plans on going.
I don't want to either, but I'm just telling you, that's out there. But when we come back, we're going to cover a little bit more, and hopefully take your call or two.
256-782-5600.
Hey, take a show. We'll be right back.
Jacksonville Bookstore offers supplies for school all throughout the year. From books to binders, pencils to Scantrons, Jacksonville Bookstore has it all. They are open Monday through Saturday with convenient hours and location on 302 Mountain Street Northwest in Jacksonville. To find out more, like them on Facebook or call 256-435-7407. Jacksonville Bookstore, a proud patron of WLJS.
Look at Jacksonville Tan is a proud patron of WLJS, serving Jacksonville and surrounding areas since 1987. At their location at 115 Francis Street East, next to Walgreens. Jacksonville Tan knows a thing or two about healthy glow, offering 16 tanning beds and virtually no wait times. A great tan is never out of the question. For more info, call them at 256-435-1770.
Wise Guys Pizzeria and Bar is ready to satisfy your taste buds with a wide variety of pizza and other Italian treats. Located at 7113 US 431 Alexandria, Alabama, they are open Monday through Saturdays from 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. For more information, like them on Facebook or call 256-820-0888. Wise Guys Pizzeria and Bar is a proud patron of WLJS.
Welcome back to the Hey Techies Show.
How you doing?
I know you know that one, Bruce.
Oh,
that's
man.
a classic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we're so glad you can join us tonight, and
we're giddy to have you.
Apparently so. Actually, Bruce is giddy because he's leaving. He'll be gone on vacation next week.
Yeah, I know he's gonna miss us.
Yes,
and I know all the listeners are gonna miss me.
Yes, we definitely will. Now, Bruce wanted us to bring up, as we sort of hinted, Gadsden City High School has rolled out this year a 1-to-1, and there's an article in the Gadsden Times, and it's by Donna Thornton, I believe is who this is. And it goes on to say that 1,600 tablet devices are to be handed to students as they come back for fall classes. And the new principal, Jeff Colgrove, he said they will be Lenovo ThinkPads, and they hope to have all this done within the second week of school. There's going to be obviously training. They've had some training already with the teachers. The devices can be used for school assignments and for exams. System Technology Director David Asbury, he said the system has invested $1.2 million in devices, which are heavy-duty tablets etched with the Titan logo. Another $100,000 or so was spent to beef up the school system's Wi-Fi. And, of course, as he said in this article, and a link will be out there, he hopes that's enough. Of course, he's probably not going to be, but anyway. It goes on to say there's going to be a fee for device is $50. It is $30 for students who receive free or reduced lunches. Family fees will be capped at $100. That's pretty common. Asbury said the school will work out payment schedule. And earlier in the school board discussions, there was talk of possible scholarships. So the article goes on to talk about that students who don't have internet connectivity at home, each device will be loaded with information on its hard drive to permit offline work on assignments. The only thing we really didn't find out, I thought, in this is what type of OS was going to be on there. We dug around, but I can't seem to find that, so really don't know. There is one teacher already that has been doing video lessons students can access on their own time. They've been doing that. The students they've been doing this on their own time. The teachers have been doing it on their own time. So this is something that is a little bit different in a way, because there's been a big push with the iOS devices, especially in the state of Alabama. There's been a lot of tie to Core, from Core to Apple for sure, and trying to get one-to-one through Apple with iPads and even MacBooks. Piedmont started it, really. I mean, they were, I don't know if they're the first school, but they were certainly
they were I think
one of the first,
they
if
were
not the first
in
the
this
state.
area.
So can we talk about this? What grinds my gears with this?
Well, of course. That's why we brought it
Man,
up. You're grinded about the extra money they're going to pay.
I'm sorry. If you can't pay for it completely, don't have it. I feel like, if I had a kid right now, I could afford it, but there's families that can't.
Yeah.
And that is what public education is about.
Yep. Now, I'm not happy with the fee either, because I already have to pay this too. But let me just say it this way. That fee is not covering the product.
Oh, absolutely not.
I mean, it's nowhere close.
I understand that.
I know you do, but the question is, I'm guessing from their standpoint, it's just covering the wear and tear. See, because what I understand is that
then there's a problem with their plan.
Yeah, the money, I thought, or at least I'm thinking that I have this right up here at high school, Jacksonville, it covers insurance, I thought. I might be wrong about that.
I think
but
you're wrong about that, because I think that was you pay an additional if you get the insurance on your own. The $50 is just to help subsidize the cost.
Wasn't it more than 50? Was it 50 last year? See, I can't even remember.
See, I'm sorry. If my child was going in, I would say absolutely not. I'm not paying. And if you hand that to my child, we will take this down to Montgomery.
Well, I was told of some people that did not take the devices.
And what did they do? How did they fare?
I don't know. But I was told that.
I'm telling you, this is a hot button for me. And granted, right now I'm just a taxpayer. My child is too young to be in these school systems. But when she gets there, if they're still charging this, I'm going to go toe to toe, and they will hate me. Because I'm just sorry. It's morally it's not right. Legally, I don't see how it's right. And to me, the bigger problem here is that how is this really helping the children? Because somebody says it puts technology in their hands. Okay, but what does that accomplish? Nobody has given me a well thought out plan or even just an end game to this. Besides, well, they'll be more familiar with technology.
Yeah. Well, you've got all.
They're going to be
points.
familiar with technology. Period. And we've talked about this on the show in the past.
Right.
I know I've told you about the Apple executive that told me, "Oh, well that way, them paying the $50, they have skin in the game."
Yeah.
They literally have skin in the game. It's called their child.
Yeah.
And then another person that was part of this initiative, she was saying, well, it puts technology in their hand. I didn't have. We only had a computer lab when I was growing up, and I was like, and you work in the technology field, so apparently that was good enough. And the thing is, especially with Apple, they're not getting this for free or even at a significantly reduced cost. They're paying almost sticker price for this stuff.
Yeah.
They've only just recently started discounting it. And it's not a huge discount.
Yeah, I understand that.
I mean, it's like $10.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it just, and to me, as that is money that I see being wasted.
Well,
and I'm all about people learning technology, using technology, but one, there's no plan, they're not using it right, and then you're making people pay for it that can't afford it.
Well, I hope that will not be the case with Gadsden. I hope for their sake, and especially these students' sake, that this works out for them. I was aware of, and I think I heard this correctly,
Yeah.
is that I think this year, Jacksonville High School, it'll be the first year they don't make payments. They've got it paid. That was my understanding, that they weren't going to buy new devices. Apple was wanting them to go
Oh, I'm sure they were.
update, but they were going to keep them at least for this term.
But see,
But I don't know where it'll go after that. I have no idea.
And see, to me, that's the only people that are winning in this.
But
is
I
Apple.
believe that's right. I could be wrong, but that's the way I heard it told.
Well,
Yeah,
I agree with Bruce here because Apple is just coming in. It's just marketing to them.
Oh,
It's just
absolutely it is.
They see it as a potential customer, and they're going to do anything they can to get that business.
And I've sat through these presentations. They show all the bells and whistles, and
Yeah.
look what you can do. And these people don't realize, because they're like, oh, this person developed this app, and no, they didn't develop this app. They paid to have that developed.
Yeah.
And that's why it looks so great. And granted, there's going to be some talented teachers out there that can go out there.
And
do
here's the thing
that.
about the apps: if the app is not free, and some of them are not, because my sister that's a teacher, excuse me, there's some apps she uses in the classroom that she has to pay for.
Yeah.
And I mean, Apple's getting 30% of the sticker
And
price
that's
of that
why-
app.
Yeah. And see, that's
Plus, the developer is paying $100
like
a year to be a developer.
See, and I just, that's why I don't like
Wow.
Apple.
Yeah.
Get them fired up.
I know.
tell you.
Oh,
You thought I was fired up about Windows 10 earlier. Hey, this is
man,
Now,
this is
Technology purchases, by the way, according to a report that just came out, are driving up back to school budgets. Some key findings from the survey, which was done by Rubicon Project, is it says 72% of parents surveyed said they plan to buy technology mostly as part of their back-to-school shopping, compared to the 61% for apparel and retail items and 50% for school supplies. 38% of surveyed parents said they are buying technology specifically to meet classroom needs or requirements. Now, in the K-12, parents said they expect to spend an average of $390 on back-to-school technology, compared to $278 for apparel and retail items. 50% of K through 8 students already have a tablet, and 44% of K through 8 parents plan to purchase one for the upcoming school year. So there's definitely some people who've been delving into this and looking into the statistics of it, and trying to. There's been some articles, and some of these links will be in our show notes, and there's been some articles that have been written about the high cost of what technology is costing in the school system.
Yeah.
This is not going away. I mean,
and it's not because you have people jumping on board saying we've got to do this, we've got to do this. If not, they're going to be left behind.
yeah.
Or this is the initiative we're doing. So our children are prepared for jobs of the future,
Yeah.
and they have no clue what they're saying. It's just all buzzwords.
Well, I think some of that definitely is true. There's no question about it.
And somebody is too afraid to step up and say, you know what, I think this is the wrong direction, because then they'll get. Man,
See,
I'm having to hold my tongue.
Well, that's good.
Much.
That's good. That might be
so
good.
Much. Oh,
yeah. Well, I know your frustration. I don't disagree with you in a lot of areas. I know it is frustrating. Well, it's frustrating for me as a parent. I'm not sure what we're getting yet. The jury's still out for me on that.
let's think. Somebody's done all this research on what it's costing. I want to know what's the research on what this is accomplished.
Yeah, and I think that we've heard from some people who don't see that there's any kind of change, be it with them or without them.
Yeah.
They don't see there's not a huge difference.
And my thing is, the people that do these and that want it in favor of
you have to follow the money.
You have to follow the money, because they're gonna alter the data. Oh,
It's
gosh.
very possible, yeah.
Gosh.
That's happening more and more.
Yes, it is. People are dishonest.
Well, look, stick with us. Hour number
Dose.
coming up. Hey Techies Show.
Hey, take a show.
As a proud patron of WLJS, On Time Fashion is Oxford's #1 stop for menswear. With top labels like Hustle Gang, LRG, and 8732, and with top lines for suits and ties, there is no need to shop anyplace else. Located at 527 South Quintard Avenue, On Time Fashion is open Monday through Saturday from 10 to 7 p.m. For more information, call 256-831-9444 or like them on Facebook at On Time Fashion.
Jacksonville Bookstore offers supplies for school all throughout the year. From books to binders, pencils to Scantrons, Jacksonville Bookstore has it all. They are open Monday through Saturday with convenient hours and location on 302 Mountain Street Northwest in Jacksonville. To find out more, like them on Facebook or call 256-435-7407. Jacksonville Bookstore, a proud patron of WLJS.
Look and secure. Gamecock Jewelry and Pawn is a proud patron of WLJS 91.9 FM. Located at 215 Pelham Road, Gamecock Jewelry and Pawn has everything you need from TVs, laptops, CDs, video games, and much more. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday and 10 to 3 on Saturdays. Gamecock Jewelry and Pawn is ready to get you cash in a flash. For more info on Gamecock Jewelry and Pawn, call 256-435-8806.
Welcome back to the Hey Techies Show. Once again, some little glitch. By the way, you're listening to WLJS Jacksonville, Alabama.
91.9.
91.9. And
WLJS.
we're so glad to have you in. I guess we...
People were watching on the stream during the break and seeing me screaming. They wish they knew what I was saying. I'm telling you, I mean, this is... It's... If I was an activist... But I guess that's what they're dependent on. The technological savvy people being bumps on a log. So
yeah.
But no, when it gets to the point where my child's involved with it, I really want to get involved with it now. I guess I just don't know how to or where to. So if you're one of these people that are fired up about it too and know where I can go and be a part of this, let me know. Call us 256-782-5600.
Okay.
Or if you want to tell me somewhere else to go.
But back to the technology of it. Like I said, there's a lot of different places that you can go. Some of these are giving deals. Now, we mentioned Apple. And of course, I would be remiss. There is a deal that Apple has. I don't know. Guru says they've had some better deals in the past. They're offering free Beats headphones with a Mac purchase.
I don't know. The Beats headphones sell because the younger generation like those.
So Guru made a really good point about this before the show.
What was that?
As far as, so we know the cost to manufacture it, which Apple owns. That it's not like they're having to go out and get this anywhere else. Now they own that brand. The cost is below $20.
Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous to mark up on this stuff, but.
Whereas before you said
I think last year they did $100 iTunes store gift card.
Yeah, so
if
that's
you bought
like
a Mac
real $100.
Yeah, and they used to years ago do a free iPod, which same thing. They wasn't they had the markup on it, but it's like they went cheap on us and they're giving you they would cost.
I'm sure people are excited.
Well, yeah, they're excited, but from their finance standpoint, they're like, yeah, it's only cost us $20.
Yeah,
granted they're losing that sale, but who's to say those folks are going to buy one?
That's true, and that may be the thing.
But another thing to mention about, not out of back to school, but Apple in general, they offer, from college students, if you're a college student and you provide a university email address, they'll give you a discount. It's like 10%. Yeah. Which, when you're buying $1,000 computer, I mean, it helps pay the sales tax.
You can also get that from the Microsoft Store, by the way.
Yes,
you can get a discount as well. So there are a lot of things to check out, like the Guru's talking about.
Yeah.
Some discounts that you can get by being a student.
If I was going to school right now, and budget was not a concern, since they didn't release the Surface Pro 4, a Surface Pro 3 would be what I'd get. I'd probably get. I probably wouldn't go for the i7. I'd go for an i5.
So what's the price about?
You're
about
$1,200. No, it would start at $799
for the i5.
Well, I'm talking about for the one I would go with.
I'm thinking it starts at $799.
It does, but with the one I would go with.
You're talking about 8 gig.
Now the only
RAM.
thing I'll say is you can get one cheaper than this.
You can,
but it's the 3. But the problem with the 3 that I do actually have is it only goes up to 4 gigs of RAM.
Yeah,
and that's a
and
little
I test
low.
drove the Surface 3, and I was not satisfied with the performance.
But for most
the
users,
average non-technical college student that needs a device, I think that $500 price point is very attractive, and it's a full Windows computer, which an iPad is not.
And it's going to be Windows 10.
Yeah.
Yes. Windows 10.
So the Surface Pro 3 that I would go with if I was going into college right now as a freshman would be the Surface Pro 3. It's 256 gigabyte hard drive, and it's got a Core i5. It's $1149. The top end is $1799. It's got 512 gigabyte hard drive, Core i7. So, and it's because of reviews of the i7, getting really hot and it downclocks it. But with the 1150, that's not including the dock or the keyboard, and which I would want a dock and a keyboard. So, I mean, really, you're looking at...
Now you're running it up with
Yeah.
a dock and a
You're
keyboard.
That dock's
looking
like
at-
$200, isn't it?
Yeah, the dock's pretty expensive.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at like $1,500. I'm saying if price point,
I know what you got what you're saying. Yeah.
but that's what I would go with. Either that or, and I'm really surprised I'm saying this because I hate HP, but that HP Spectre.
Oh, yes.
The Spectre.
Oh man, that is a sweet.
I thought you was about to say a MacBook.
No.
And speaking of MacBook, the latest MacBook starts from $1299.
But let me interject here on the Mac side. If you're looking for an Apple computer, a laptop for college or for
Just
school,
look somewhere else. I'm just kidding.
No,
No.
For about $1,000, $1,100, you can get a 13-inch MacBook Air with 8 gigs of RAM, which I think it's a really good price.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I think the starting price point for a 13-inch MacBook Air is got 4 gigs. It's $999. So, but I think it's worth going and paying an extra $100 for the 8 gigs. The one like I've got right here, if you're watching the live stream, it's a MacBook Air and it's 8 gigs with a 256 SSD. I think it was like $1,200. You pay a little extra, but go ahead because you can't upgrade these devices. Even the Surface, you can't upgrade the RAM like you can a tower computer or a traditional laptop.
Traditional laptop, yeah.
Our friend, who is the Microsoft user that we all know, sent me a text, Andrew.
Oh, he sent me one too.
He says i5 128 gigabyte 4 gigs of RAM is $950 for the Surface, and 256 gigs is $1150 for the Surface.
I'm on the site
Is it
right now.
4 gigs or 8 gigs of RAM?
No,
He said 4 gigs.
He said 4 gigs.
I think
256
you need to get
is
the 8 gigs, even on a Surface.
Yeah, I'd get the 8 gigs.
You're gonna pay about $100 more.
I don't know where he's.
I mean, he may be doing like some education discount.
Yeah,
'Cause
and they have the Microsoft like education
Not
store.
sure.
You can order it online.
128's $999, and he says it's. What did he say?
It's about $1,000.
He said $950. They may have like another. I may have to add it to cart.
He
or
has a
something.
super secret site.
Maybe.
That's it.
When you're the Microsoft guru, you get those special
he's
prices.
Super secret
So
pricing.
thank you for that, Andrew. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
appreciate you listening.
So
and appreciate
you can get it a little
correcting.
bit, maybe a little bit cheaper than what we said, but I would just.
but in the neighborhood.
I would in the neighborhood.
But I think for $1,000, you can get a very good computer that'll
Thanks
last.
for listening.
My train of thought here.
For
My opinion,
$1,000.
for $1,000, you can get a really good computer, and it will last you through your entire time of college.
Yeah.
If you get
Especially
4 years.
Especially even 5 years. Especially a
Be pretty
MacBook.
rough.
You can use them things 6-7 years, and they're still good.
I mean, you can do that with any machine.
It
Well,
depends on
take care of
how
it.
you take care of it.
Oh, true.
I mean, you can't. I think that goes without
Trust
saying.
me, I know people that have had a MacBook for less than 2 years, and they're like, I gotta get a new one. I'm like,
Your mileage may vary.
Yeah, your mileage may vary.
Now, the MacBook Air, according to Apple's website, starts out at $899.
That's like the 11-inch. There's an
Yes.
11 and a 13. I
Right.
say get the 13. The 11's a little small. One of my friends has got an 11-inch MacBook Air, and I test drove it, and then the screen was just too small for me.
I still think this, we've said so many times, this is all what you want to do. What you want to spend, what you want to do, how you
Absolutely,
want to use what
absolutely.
you're using, So keep that in mind when you're going out to purchase products.
Don't be like, well, they said on the Hey Techies Show, I got to get this. Now I can't do anything that I want to do.
No, you really need to research.
Yeah,
I mean,
or
really
call
need to
us and tell us what you want to do.
And here's,
Right.
and here's the
We can
thing, like
definitely give you
Microsoft, they have the Microsoft stores are several in Atlanta, which is for where we're at in Northeast Alabama. That's
Yes.
Within 2 hours you can be there. The Apple store is one in Birmingham. Go and try these devices out. They have them out in the stores where you can test drive them.
Right.
Yeah. And the Lenovo Yogas are pretty nice too. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
mind
I've seen those.
And here's the thing about the Microsoft Store. You know, I can't believe I'm plugging. I'm just kidding.
We can't believe it either.
The Microsoft Store, they have more than just the Surface devices. They have several different laptops, different PC. You know, Dell, Lenovo, all this other stuff too. So
Go and experience it.
oh yeah,
They're selling Microsoft.
Yeah,
exactly. But
as
they
a service.
Yeah, as a service.
So earlier we kind of got on it about I guess productivity software. With
Yes.
That if you're a JSU student, you'll get
Yes.
Office for free
As long as you're enrolled.
registered. Yeah. So I've had conversations with some people about this, and I mean they kind of feel like, who really needs Office? Because there's so much out there with Google Docs. You've got help me think of some of the other ones.
Google Docs.
Well, I mean that, but
We got these free, like Open Office.
yeah, Open Office.
But here's the
do
thing.
I really need all the stuff
Well,
that's
let me interject as a college student, as a graduate student. When I have to turn my stuff in electronically, they want it in a Word file of this format, no later than Word 2000.
And you can save it as that.
I understand that, but when it's like a paper that I've wrote that's like a fifth of my final grade, I want to make sure that professor can open it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
I mean, I understand, and you can get by without it, but when it comes to my grade, and maybe because I'm older, I'm more, I'm more,
Persnickety.
yeah, that word.
I talked to a teacher, a faculty member, that told me they couldn't open this particular file. Well, guess what it was? It was Keynote. It was Keynote
Or
Numbers
Pages.
It was in Pages. And he couldn't open it. Now
he
you
didn't
can
have
save Pages in the proper format,
Yeah.
and that it will open in Word, but apparently they didn't. And he
It
said,
was a
"How do I-
.pages file.
Yeah, how to open this?" I said, "Well, you can't."
I'm kind of surprised that Blackboard doesn't support that.
Yeah, I don't
Because
know.
because the depending on how the instructor sets it up when you submit assignments, if you do it through Blackboard, and I say that because my entire program that I'm in is online, so we do everything through Blackboard. And I mean, you submit your assignments through it, and there's this thing that goes out and searches and tries to. It's like a plagiarism check,
Yes.
and it actually can parse that Word document. You can see it, as it's formatted on the screen inside of Blackboard. I'm surprised that Blackboard don't support the Pages format. Just saying.
I'm not sure.
So
I don't.
I just had somebody email.
Oh,
I guess we all got it.
and I don't know.
Because
I
I
didn't
was-
get. Yeah, I got it.
Don't mention her name. She said, "Don't mention her name."
Okay.
So
No names.
she's asking if we've already discussed updating Windows 10, which we have at the beginning of the show. She said the choice of pictures for background on Windows 8 is pitiful. By the way, I love your promo commercials. I don't know if she's talking about the commercials or what we do.
She likes it.
What we
She
do
likes
while
it
the
all.
commercials are on.
But I'll say for our
Oh,
person that emailed, I don't like the Windows 8 backgrounds either. But the Windows 10 one, the default one, is pretty amazing.
So I didn't experience 8 a background.
it was like a bunch of like squares and lines, and it just like, really, this is the best you could do.
Yeah.
Now the default Windows 10 desktop
Well,
wallpaper,
that's sharp.
It's
It
pretty
was
sharp.
Yeah. But you can change all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You can
put your
change
own-
it. Yeah.
But
Your own
there's a lot of users that just use whatever
Right.
default is on there.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Now, if they're listening live or watching live, they can scroll back to the beginning of the show, correct?
I think so.
Yeah, I believe you can. You can do
Yes.
that. However,
yes, you can.
you also can watch it later, or
You
we'll
can
have our
watch
podcast out later.
Yeah. So we covered
and
10.
you'll be able to hear what we talk about.
Yeah. But if
Yeah.
you've got a question about Windows 10, and
Oh yeah,
we'll take it right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
right now. Yeah.
So
Questions at Hey Techies Show.
So-
Thank you so much for the email. We appreciate it. Yep.
So Andrew
Yes.
Ware said some stuff.
Here we go again. He's already texted us some more.
But,
My goodness, he's wearing it out.
Yeah. But so with the whole, I guess I had stayed away from 8. I did the beta versions, all that. I was like, I'd see how this is gonna be good for a tablet. So I'd never upgraded. But yes, we know it converting it from Windows or from Microsoft Office
Yeah, it
to
can-
something else can mess it
mess
up.
up the formatting.
But if you put it, if you're not doing any fancy, which most people don't, if you just put in RTF instead of a .txt, then it's not, because that's going to be.
All I got to say about that is follow the instructions of your professor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
because that's better safe than sorry, especially when it's an online course and you have the only interaction you have is online with the professor.
Or tell your professor to get with the times.
Hey,
what? Just accept it.
What time?
Just
that is
accept
Bruce
it on
at
Google Docs.
HeyTechiesShow.com.
Accept it on Google Docs. Get with the program, professor. No,
Well.
but now with this, with for example, our university doing Office 365.
Correct.
You can say it's available to you. I mean, previously, I would think times ago, like you could say, well, nothing's available to me. Now it's available to you.
Yeah.
So, but we'll talk more about it when we get back.
Call us.
Hey, Techies Show.
Gamecock Jewelry and Pawn is a proud patron of WLJS 91.9 FM. Located at 215 Pelham Road, Gamecock Jewelry and Pawn has everything you need from TVs, laptops, CDs, video games, and much more. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday and 10 to 3 on Saturdays, Gamecock Jewelry and Pawn is ready to get you cash in a flash. For more info on Gamecock Jewelry and Pawn, call 256-435-8806. As a proud patron of WLJS, On Time Fashion is Oxford's #1 stop for menswear. With top labels like Hustle Gang, LRG, and 8732, and with top lines for suits and ties, there is no need to shop anyplace else. Located at 527 South Quintard Avenue, On Time Fashion is open Monday through Saturday from 10 to 7 p.m. For more information, call 256-831-9444 or like them on Facebook at On Time Fashion.
Look at secure.
Wise Guys Pizzeria and Bar is ready to satisfy your taste buds with a wide variety of pizza and other Italian treats. Located at 7113 US 431 Alexandria, Alabama, they are open Monday through Saturdays from 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. For more information, like them on Facebook or call 256-820-0888. Wise Guys Pizzeria and Bar is a proud patron of WLJS.
Welcome back to the Hey Techies Show. Love that song. Okay. People are watching the stream just for Bruce.
Yes. So we were in the email. The
Yes.
person was saying they
Yes.
loved the
unmentioned
commercials.
Yes.
And if you liked your different ones, become a patron.
Yeah.
Oh, and we need to mix
No,
up the.
she likes our ad, the one we do.
Oh, the
that
one
she
we
listens
do.
to the week. I think that's what
Okay.
she's talking about. She likes the Hey Techies Show ad.
Yeah, I really wish we would change.
Yeah, it does need to be
They
changed.
get old.
Yeah, yeah.
They always come
We're
on at the
gonna
same
we're gonna
time.
polish them up.
Yeah, we'll polish.
We need to do that. We need to do something a little bit different.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
We could probably take some cuts of us talking about stuff.
Yeah,
and say,
well, I
listen
tried
to
to
the
do
Hey
that. The
Techies
problem
Show.
is getting it down to a minute. We've got some funny stuff
Yeah.
actually, but getting it down to a minute
Just
is
edit
the
and mesh it all
Yeah.
together. You can listen to the Hey Techies Show at 7 on Thursdays.
Right.
here on 91.9 WLJS.
That is correct.
Oh,
But I
man.
think we're going to have to move on. I think we
Are we?
Well, what
what's-
else we got to cover on this?
So this is the back to school.
Yes. What
I
else?
would say get a good bag to put this stuff in.
Yeah, I guess we didn't cover that.
And I would say if you can afford it, and this is what I say on most things,
Sure.
splurge a little and get something really good. I will say this: whenever I started college, I actually saw a student. It really surprised me. I wanted to go because they have these camps up here and stuff. They had a Dell Precision backpack, and mine was like the Dell. I think I had a Dell Precision 9100. The laptop weighed 10 pounds, but this backpack lasted me 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So whenever I ordered it, it was one of those things like from Dell, and I mean, it was probably like $130 backpack, but golly, man, it lasted forever. And the only reason why I got rid of it is because my wife was like, "You're getting rid of that thing."
Or
And-
if you don't have the budget of Bruce, you can use like a hand-me-down WordPerfect bag or something.
Word perfect bag.
Yeah, that's an inside joke. Some of my coworkers.
Oh, okay.
But
But the Swiss backpacks are really good.
yeah, here, let me say this.
Do you have a
This
Swiss
is
backpack?
No, mine's
this
a,
is what
cheap.
I personally do.
a good one, but a cheaper.
is
Mine's a
I have a
purse.
standard backpack like
Merce.
So my wife.
I have a standard backpack
No,
like you
wait,
would
that's
get.
a nurse. No, nurse.
You get at any like Walmart or sporting goods store.
Yeah.
And I buy the neoprene sleeve that's designed for that size
Okay.
screen.
Yeah.
I stick the laptop in that sleeve and I throw it in a backpack.
Yeah. And
And you can do that. I mean, you don't have to have a dedicated like nerd backpack like Bruce has.
Yeah.
And I've had this one for 5 or 6
Fur.
years. Fur. Don't go start no fur. That's another inside
boy.
joke. But I mean, this has been a good backpack, and they've. I kind of like some of the new ones. They got some newer features, but these are good backpacks. See, it's got this metal thing right here, real sturdy. Look, just pay attention to the stitching and the zippers and all the doodads.
So what about addition? So what about?
Make sure you have a good bag.
What about if you're
Just
going
saying.
to buy a tablet instead of like a full-blown computer? Do you consider purchasing like a Bluetooth keyboard to go with something like that for that
If
type?
that's going to be your product, like a productivity machine, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you may want to
Absolutely.
consider buying a case that has that. You can buy some cases
Yeah,
for those devices
that have
that
that
has a
built-in.
Bluetooth. Some are great, some are not.
Yeah.
I've heard differing views.
You need to make sure that it's comfortable to type on for long periods of time.
Yeah.
Because your hands are resting on that. Some of they have it. They try and make it look real nice. I'm trying to remember who I had for, because I bought one when the iPad first came out. I had one for my iPad, and it was real nice because the keyboard, it had a little kick up stand in it, so you could mount it different ways. But that you could type. But it was the same type of metal, and it was curved. So when you're putting your hands on that curved part typing, because I rest my wrist instead of different people have different things. If you're watching, you can see me what I'm doing. And be like, what is he doing? So depending upon how you rest your wrist, it was like eating into my wrist. So I guess just pay attention to that kind of stuff. And if it's in a package, ask them to take it out of the package and let you, if you're at the store, ask them to take it out of the package, test it out, say, I don't want it, and go buy it on Amazon.
Okay. God.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Well, that's what people do.
Right. Well, I think that covers most of what, unless anybody else has anything to
Questions.
add.
Oh, storage media. We were going to talk about storage media.
You're right. I'm glad you remembered that.
Golly.
I'm almost not.
Jeez.
So I need to go get my 3.5-inch floppy disk from
Thank
Walmart.
goodness.
No. But now, storage media, different school systems are going to require or not require this. So it's really something you really need to check. I'm sure there's lists. Sometimes Walmart, you can find them in a little cubicle in front at Walmart where they hand out those lists. Sometimes those are accurate.
And let me say about the supply list, this is kind of techie. The Oxford Walmart, which I know it's a drive from Jacksonville, but they have a touchscreen kiosk that you pick the school and pick the grade, and it prints it on demand.
Okay.
That is
That
just
is
pretty
nice.
slick.
Why don't they just email it to you?
Well, you can.
Well, I
I'm
think
sure a
that-
lot of school systems do that too.
Yeah.
But you're talking about that device. Why doesn't it email you to you? Well,
Because when I used to work retail and trying to keep those school supply lists like organized, and because they give you the little thing that you put them in, that is so handy. So I'm gonna give props to the Oxford Walmart for the touchscreen kiosk to get your supply list. Anyway, we move on.
So we were talking about storage media.
Yes.
And one of the things was flash drives.
Yes.
And if you can see on the screen, if you want to hold that up to there, Guru, that is Lacey makes that one, and it looks like a key. So it goes on a key ring. So if your kids carry a key ring, that's kind of good. Now, I do not like these.
Yeah.
I do not like USB thumb drives. Normally what I do is I have a media card reader, and I use SD cards because they have right lock on them. And you can buy right lockable thumb drives, but if I'm putting my thumb drive in a computer that I don't trust, that SD card is locked.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, so that's something to think about. I mean, and then I have a little carrying case that has my SD cards in it. I don't have it here with me; it's actually in my office. But But if you
Now, I hate to be the party pooper on that,
okay,
but we're talking
parties.
Yes, but we're not talking about spies. We're talking about
know.
going to school.
I understand that, but still, stuff
I mean,
can
they're
happen.
not. This
if-
is not.
I'm just.
This
saying.
is not James Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean and to me that's practical.
I don't disagree with you, but I just think at some point,
Or just get a right lockable thumb drive. They make them.
yeah. But then you've got a different issue. What if you forget all you supposed to remember to get back into it, and you've got your
No. It's a
write
it's a-
lockable, not
it's-
read lockable.
It's
You can't write to
Oh
it.
yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't. Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying.
I'm not saying. I mean, you should encrypt your data, but
I know.
That's a whole
but
nother-
They're Word documents and PowerPoints.
It's homework.
Yeah.
It's homework.
well, somebody could steal
I
it.
think we're going a little far.
I know, but I'm just saying
But-
you could go with one of these. I'm not saying I endorse this. I would rather
does not endorse this
I would
product.
rather endorse something that's right lockable.
Yeah.
But this is a good solution to that issue.
Well,
but
Well, let me just say to kind of wrap that part up, because I mean that's going way
there's
deep.
always cloud storage.
That's true, but check with your school.
Yep.
If your child needs a USB drive, I'd get a name brand one. Don't get the one because it looks cute. Stick with
Yeah.
SanDisk or LaCie
But it's got
or
Hello Kitty on it.
one of those reputable brands, because you get the cheap ones off of eBay. It may just go belly up on you, and that'd be the worst thing. that
Or
can happen.
your CVS special.
Yeah,
as you're
and
checking out.
back up your data on your thumb drive. Have it somewhere else too.
Absolutely. And see what I don't understand. I mean, I did this, I guess, before they had Google Drive. Is I just emailed myself my assignment or my completed
you can do
work.
that. Yeah,
And
that works too.
yeah, so that's always an option. Or your Google Drive, your OneDrive, your Dropbox, whatever else you have, some other type of cloud storage. That way, when your kid leaves their thumb drive in class and another kid comes on, it's like, free thumb drive.
Yeah,
I'm not turning this back in.
Be careful with that too, because
sometimes
sometimes
that's done
they'll
on
bite you.
purpose. Sometimes
yeah,
that is done on
well,
purpose.
probably at that level might not be, but they may have not been very good with it, and they may have a virus on it that they don't even know about.
Exactly.
And then you put it in yours, and now you've got a virus.
So we can talk about viruses. That's a good segue.
What do you
You're
got
welcome.
for viruses? You're welcome. Okay.
So, CryptoWall ransomware still running rampant.
Wow.
So, have you ran into any ransomware in? I know you haven't ran into it here.
No, I can't say that I have
Guru?
lately.
Any ransomware you've ran into?
No, not that I'm aware.
So this story, and I don't like pulling stories that are more than a day old. But CryptoWall is a Trojan virus, and what it does, I'll skip reading all this, is that you may get an email that has a PDF in it, and it may say like a lawsuit or something. You're like, oh man, what is this? Oh, that wasn't intended for me. Well, you've opened it, and you may not notice for the next couple of days because it's busy encrypting everything that it deems important. That say if you're a business, it will encrypt all your Excel files or something because you're like, that's what I need, and then in order to undo it, you have to pay a ransom.
Oh yeah.
So
I know about them.
They've done some statistics on this and have figured out that 2.9% will pay. So if 2.9% of people pay the ransom, and they infect 5,700 people per day at $200 per ransom, that's $33,000 per day, or close to $1 million a month. I need to get in the ransomware business because that is just insane. So they said 5,700 new infections was, I think they said that's what they figured about how many were happening, and $200 isn't a huge deal to a business, so they're like, I just pay it and it'll be done. So some of the quick things to be able to circumvent that is patch management. So make sure every piece of your software in your network is up to date. Use a centralized antivirus, even though antivirus is only about 47% effective. And make sure when it comes to AV, if it's free, you're getting what you pay for.
Yeah.
And well, we could probably do a whole nother show on AVs that we recommend.
Oh yeah, so we've done that before.
We have?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
early on we did, but we could. Yeah, you can find that out there.
And then another thing is simply educate your end users, and that's near impossible. You can tell them all day long till you're blue in the face. Don't open things if you're not expecting to get a file. Don't open it.
Right.
What is this? Click.
Yeah.
Infected. So there you go. That was a good segue into to ransomware.
Well, when we come back, we'll move on. We got some rumors coming up next. Just a few.
Hey Techies Show.
Wise Guys Pizzeria and Bar is ready to satisfy your taste buds with a wide variety of pizza and other Italian treats. Located at 7113 US 431 Alexandria, Alabama, they are open Monday through Saturdays from 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. For more information, like them on Facebook or call 256-820-0888. Wise Guys Pizzeria and Bar is a proud patron of WLJS.
Jacksonville Tan is a proud patron of WLJS, serving Jacksonville and surrounding areas since 1987. At their location at 115 Francis Street East, next to Walgreens. Jacksonville Tan knows a thing or two about healthy glow, offering 16 tanning beds and virtually no wait times. A great tan is never out of the question. For more info, call them at 256-435-1770.
Jacksonville Bookstore offers supplies for school all throughout the year. From books to binders, pencils to scantrons, Jacksonville Bookstore has it all. They are open Monday through Saturday with convenient hours and location on 302 Mountain Street Northwest in Jacksonville. To find out more, like them on Facebook or call 256-435-7407. Jacksonville Bookstore, a proud patron of WLJS.
Welcome back to the Hey Techies Show. We're going to try to cover a couple of rumors here. And I think the guru had found one more that is probably the most interesting one of the bunch. I don't know.
Hot off the press.
I've got one too.
Go ahead. You first, guru, and then if I decide mine's worthy.
I know one of our listeners is going to be super interested in this.
Awesome.
So Microsoft has unveiled, or possibly unveiled, the first phones to get Windows 10 Mobile. It's all these are the Luminas. They're not the only ones, but these will be the first ones. The Lumina 430, 435, 532, 535, 546, 46, 40 XL, 735, 830, 930. So if you got one of those phones, you might be getting Windows 10.
So
maybe I don't know what Android
does Microsoft control the release of that update to those
they
devices?
said they were going to. That was one of the things we covered earlier this
I thought so
in one of our previous shows. But
so that will not be in the show notes. But if you have one of those phones, look for 10.
Yeah, the 12 people that have one.
Easy,
Can't argue with that.
Andrew, calm down. Calm down.
Yeah, sorry, Andrew. All right, Apple TV is rumored a new version in September. They are planning to, this has been talked about for months.
Yeah.
And it's rumored to have an A8 processor. Well, I think it's the same processor as the iPhone 6, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, it's supposed to have a touch-based remote that is, quote, drastically improved compared to the current version, a new operating system that has a full support for the App Store, developer APIs, Siri voice control, and more onboard stores to accommodate apps. Physically, this thing is rumored to take on a new, slimmer look, which is already kind of slim as it is. But anyway, now one thing that is rumored to not be coming out this time is there've been rumor also about Apple's streaming TV service.
Mm-hmm.
This article suggests that it's not being released at the time of the release of this device.
Mm.
So that's kind of it's kind of a 2-for-1. that's not coming out soon, but there's still rumors about Apple's television streaming service. So one thing that's not mentioned in this article is the HomeKit stuff, and that we've heard about that in the past. So if you're looking to buy an Apple TV, you may want to hold out.
Speaking of that, I thought I had heard on another show that sometimes I watch about that they were removing the Nest stuff from the Apple stores.
Oh, really?
And that they were going to just have the HomeKit stuff.
That wouldn't surprise me. And that's the whole thing with the Internet of Things is there's so many different competing technologies.
Now, the only rumor I really have, and it's been rumored off and on, I'll just cover it real quickly. We'll put a link up, but it was in technewstoday.com. It was an article about the iPad Pro, and there's been for I think more than a year now that they might release what would be considered an iPad Pro. It will measure a little bigger, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, like 12 inches or something?
12.9 has been suggested that it might measure. Some other things is more like a slimmer design has been suggested.
At least they're not calling it the iPad like 17 Plus. I don't know how many models they've had of iPad, but like you got the iPhone 6, iPhone 6 Plus.
Yeah.
They're calling it the iPad Pro.
Yeah, well, that has been the suggestion.
So the only pro thing about it is the larger screen. What's any rumor about the specs of it?
Well, that's what I was looking for. According to this, it suggesting a possible specs of display 2732 by 2048.
It just makes it more and more difficult for iOS developers.
That can't be right. The upcoming iPad Pro could feature a high-resolution display. Oh, okay. That current one that I just said is the density that has been seen on the iPad Air 2. Okay, so I guess it may be...
So larger screen, same resolution, so it's going to look worse?
Here again, this is a rumor.
Just saying.
NFC has been rumored to possibly be on it.
Let me hold up my tablet so I can pay for my McDonald's.
Yeah,
Big
I know.
Mac.
That is a good point. Well, I don't know if that's the only thing you could use NFC for, but that's certainly...
Well, that's the only thing Apple is really supporting right now.
Well, that's true. That's true.
I actually use NFC a lot whenever Ryman Rex and I are sitting around and he's got a good story on his phone. We just tap our phones together and then I have it. It's quicker than texting a link or something.
But you don't have Apple devices.
Do y'all have protected tapping? Or is it unprotected tapping?
It's protected.
Okay.
So...
Just curious.
I've got another.
Well, now the last thing I want to talk about on this, and we're closing this out. The USB-C port. They may have the that's been rumored too.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
they're going away from that, or the Lightning.
Well, now here again,
this is all rumors, folks.
Yeah, you don't have any idea if this is going to turn out.
Yeah.
This one right here is real skeptical because this has been I've heard the term iPad Pro for nearly a year.
Yeah.
Or more.
Yeah, at least. So
we shall see, as they say.
I've got one for you.
Yes.
And this is the time that saying thanks, Obama, will actually be a real thanks, Obama. Like usually it's said sarcastically, but Obama has issued an executive order for us to build a new supercomputer that will do. It'll be an exascale computer. So currently, the second fastest computer in the world is the Titan at Oak Ridge Laboratories in Tennessee. It's going to trade over the next few years. It's going to trade places with China because they're constantly upgrading it. But it will currently do 17.59 petaflops. I know I'm losing people. Up to 27, and China's will do up to 54.
That's that's just very, very fast.
But
very, very fast.
But this one will do 1,000. So that's what an exabyte is. So it'll do 1,000 petaflops, and I think they want this by 2025. So the amount of energy that this is going to take is just crazy. The amount of money, I mean, it could be done tomorrow. It's just money and power, that like actual energy that it will take. Because the current Titan costs $97 million, and I have a buddy that actually I don't know. He didn't know why I was just so his like because he went up there and he had time on it and because he's running models for weather data. Oh man, should have brought that up. Ah. So, anyways, just the amount of processing that it takes, and Alabama actually has a supercomputer that's nowhere. It does like teraflops and not petaflops. And then there's single point and multi-point computing.
It's a lot of flopping.
It is a lot of flopping. But, I mean, I wanted to go see it so bad, and he sent me pictures. But he's so up close that all I get is like a rack. And I'm like, I want to see the whole thing.
Like panorama.
Yeah, and I mean, they've got them posted online, but it's different when somebody that you know is there. And, oh, man, it was exciting. And it's definitely something I'd like to go see.
All right. Now, for us Android phone users, what was I supposed to do?
All right.
If you want me to be
on. No, it's just something I'm excited about. You don't have to be excited.
Well, I'm not excited about the Android. I'm sorry.
I am. What are we talking about?
I'm not excited about this either. This is a bug.
Yeah, it's totally not secure.
Yeah.
But go on.
It's totally not secure. Well, I know. What are you talking about? What do you? It's a nasty bug. What do you mean it's not secure? Of course, it's not secure.
Yeah, but neither is your iPhone.
Well, everything has its limits.
Everything has its bugs.
Yeah. Anyway, apparently this one is very serious, as Bruce just mentioned. No physical access on the phone. And no tricking this person into something shady application. Just a quick message sent to this person's phone, and bam, they were in. Now, the way I understand that it works is to initiate the attack, the hacker sends a maliciously modified video message. The message is able to circumvent Android sandboxing security measures and execute remote code. At which point, according to this, they'd have near full access to your device, its storage, its camera, and microphone.
And then they can even delete it.
Yeah, in many cases, the device will start processing the message without user opening messages manually. Just receiving messages is enough to get the ball rolling. The bug is said to have been introduced in Android 2.2. Froro. How do you say it? Froro. Yo. It's froyo.
Froyo.
What is a froyo?
Ice cream.
Oh, see, I know what lollipop is clearly. According to this, let's see, they've tested it. Builds as recent as the latest release on Lollipop 5.1.1, and devices running a build older than Jelly Bean are said to be most vulnerable. Now, there is a fix. The bug can be fixed with an over-the-air update, and Google has already patched, ready to go. But here we fall back to your carrier may not allow you to get it.
Yeah, I know how to fix this flaw. Get an iPhone.
Yeah, well, there's other flaws.
Or as Andrew Ware would say, get a Windows phone.
Get a Windows phone. Get an iPhone.
Now, Bruce pointed out something that it will, according to this, it may allow it to delete itself and delete all traces.
Well, because they have control of it, they can go in and say, delete that message.
And you never know that it was actually done.
Yep. That's how the NSA gets in.
Now that's it.
To your phone.
That's definitely
how they do it.
And I'm thinking you may be saving that for Overclock Stack. So
what?
The one where it was hacking a gun, but that may be something you'd say.
Ooh.
What?
That's a teaser.
Ooh, yeah.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Hacking a gun.
Hacking a gun.
Yeah.
So but if you're concerned about your Android phone, you should be careful anyway. No matter what you're doing, you should,
Google's got to rein in something. I mean,
that's true.
They got to use their Google powers. I'm just saying.
No,
they got to use their Google powers. I mean, get on board. That's what Apple. And I will say that's one thing Apple does right. Having a little control. Granted, Google wants people to not feel like they have complete control.
Yeah, but they.
Notice I said feel like.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you did. You did.
So I'm just saying, that they've got to rein that in.
We'll be right back. Techies Show. He's going to do that all night, folks.
Gamecock Jewelry and Pawn is a proud patron of WLJS 91.9 FM. Located at 215 Pelham Road, Gamecock Jewelry and Pawn has everything you need from TVs, laptops, CDs, video games, and much more. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday and 10 to 3 on Saturdays, Gamecock Jewelry and Pawn is ready to get you cash in a flash. For more info on Gamecock Jewelry and Pawn, call 256-435-8806. Wise Guys Pizzeria and Bar is ready to satisfy your taste buds with a wide variety of pizza and other Italian treats. Located at 7113 US 431 Alexandria, Alabama, they are open Monday through Saturdays from 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. For more information, like them on Facebook or call 256-820-0888. Wise Guys Pizzeria and Bar is a proud patron of WLJS. As a proud patron of WLJS, On Time Fashion is Oxford's #1 stop for menswear. With top labels like Hustle Gang, LRG, and 8732, and with top lines for suits and ties, there is no need to shop anyplace else. Located at 527 South Quintard Avenue, On Time Fashion is open Monday through Saturday from 10 to 7 p.m. For more information, call 256-831-9444 or like them on Facebook at On Time Fashion.
Jacksonville Tan is a proud patron of WLJS, serving Jacksonville and surrounding areas since 1987. At their location at 115 Francis Street East, next to Walgreens. Jacksonville Tan knows a thing or two about healthy glow, offering 16 tanning beds and virtually no wait times. A great tan is never out of the question. For more info, call them at 256-435-1770.
Welcome back to the Hey Techies Show. Here's a classic for you. Bruce knows all the moves. Well, we're going to turn over this portion of the program to the guru, and he is going to bring us this week in tech history.
We're going to go way back to July 27th, 1981.
Hey, I remember that.
Yeah, I was very young at that.
That was the day before my birthday.
Was it?
In 1981.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was a baby then. But anyway,
nice.
Back on that day, IBM purchased what was known at the time as QDOS, which is Quick and Dirty Operating System, from Seattle Computer Products for $50,000.
Mm-hmm.
They, worked on it and rebranded it as MS-DOS. And this was 2 weeks before IBM was going to begin shipping their first IBM PC. So Microsoft licensed it to IBM as PC-DOS. And here's the thing: they spent $50,000, buying it from this, from this company, Seattle Computer Products. And before this, they were using a different DOS-like product. They had just got rights to use from another company. Well, that company later sued, claiming fraud because Microsoft did not reveal IBM as a licensee, because that deal was already going on, obviously, But, it was settled in the favor of the other company called SCP, for $1 million, which is just a fraction of the annual revenue that Microsoft was receiving from MS-DOS and PC-DOS.
Yeah, because
they
made a huge, and the rest
and some folks are like, what the heck is that?
Yeah, no, the rest is history.
But that's kind of,
why they are.
And I picked this one out because of Windows 10 coming out this week. I thought it was kind of appropriate.
Yeah.
I remember the days of MS-DOS, PC-DOS, so there you go. This week in tech history.
Well, all right, time for the overclock stack. You love saying that.
Ready to go.
Ready to go. You first, Bruce.
Me first.
Yes.
So, hackers disable smart rifle and change its target remotely. So, we talked about this before the show. You had not heard of this rifle. Don't think you had heard of this
No.
rifle.
Nope.
And I guess it's been about a year ago. So basically, this rifle makes anybody a sniper. You can hit anything from a half mile away. So you just look through the scope, you tag your target, and you can hold your finger on the trigger, and it will not shoot until it is lined up. Now it takes all the other stuff into consideration as far as wind speed and humidity and all that. But it will let you know now you can pull the trigger and it will fire. So part of this is it lets you pair your phone to this to receive video and to help and even control the device. So part of the problem is that they have a default username and password and it can't be changed.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
that allowed them to change the target and take it out. But they're $13,000, so don't plan on your neighbor having one. I don't know, maybe.
No defaults.
No defaults.
All right. Which airport has the best cell phone service? Has anybody traveled lately? And I know I did about a month ago. But anyway, I know a lot of folks, that's their occupation to be road warriors and jet out to here and there. Yeah. But anyway, a company called Route Metrics, they did a survey and ranked they did rankings of the 50 busiest U.S. airports.
Oh, we're talking about U.S. Okay.
Yeah, this is United States airports in terms of which ones had the best cell phone service. Guess which one was at the top?
Atlanta.
Because you already knew because I told you.
No, you didn't.
Did you? Oh, I mentioned this for the show. But anyway, yes,
I wasn't paying attention.
Bruce, you are correct. The Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport was number 1 this year.
Number 2 was Dallas.
Let's see. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. But Atlanta moved from this I guess was done last year. They moved from the number 7 spot to the number 1 spot.
So how did they do that? My rumor is they put the cards inside their access points, and it's all void.
Well, they was looking for actual cellular service, not Wi-Fi.
Well, no. You can put those. You can put a 3G card inside of access points, and it rebroadcasts that signal.
That's true.
So
that's true. It doesn't say how they did it. It's just the results of the survey. But they do have free Wi-Fi at the Atlanta airport now too.
No, there you go.
But number 2 was not Dallas.
Who is it?
It was Cleveland.
Cleveland rocks.
And then Southwest Florida International.
Welcome to Milwaukee.
Southwest Florida International, which I'm not sure where that's at. It was number 3. San Jose was number 4. Dallas Love Field, not Dallas Fort Worth, but Dallas Love Field. That's like the hub for Southwest. It was number 5. And let's see if
that was close.
I don't know if Dallas Fort Worth is on this list. I'm trying to find them real quick.
The View from the Top, Cleveland. It's a great movie.
Well, what I said,
Royalty.
Dallas Fort Worth ranked 24 on this list out of 50, which the worst out of the 50 was Nashville International.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. So the whole Welcome to Milwaukee, there's a guy that has, or maybe it's Milwaukee has Welcome to Cleveland. I don't know. He has it painted on his roof, and it scares people because they're like, I'm not supposed to be here.
That was funny.
But he had a really good quote. He said, life is not a dress rehearsal.
Yes, that's true.
And he was like, do it. So he's just having fun. I was like, man, I love that attitude.
Now, Terra Fuga, and I don't know if I said that right, but I'm pronouncing it like it's written here. Okay, I know I always find the hard one.
You get that up.
Yeah, Terra Fuga. They have unveiled a new design for an autonomous flying car, and actually, there's a video you can go out and look at. It's pretty neat. That it's in the makings. It's not going to be anytime soon, I don't think. But according to this, and my wife says I say that too much, but the motors are powered by a 300 horsepower engine and can move the vehicle to a horizontal position as required for taking off. Cruising and landing. It will also have a cruising speed of 200 miles per hour, as well as a 500-mile flight range. And I saw it work. It actually looks like the wings come around the doors, and these propellers go inside below the doors of the car, and then they come out. Okay, and
like
go,
a DeLorean. It's got the
almost
doors.
like that. That they come out and then go up, and like a helicopter, they lift you up, and then they fold over forward facing, and like a take off. Yeah.
So does it have a flux capacitor? That's all.
I did not check about the flux capacitor.
You have to get up to 88.
Yep.
So This one is really not a quick overclock. This is
But you're gonna make it.
I'm gonna make it. You should definitely read more on it. But it's about the Cybersecurity Information Sharing Act. So
yes, you should look into that.
You should definitely look into it. So this all has to deal with. I mean, they've been trying to get this stuff passed under different names for quite a while. And we didn't really go over this with the Windows 10 thing about how they're handling your data. And how all this ties in, but just know that they're trying to get this passed because now they've ruled that all this collection that the NSA is doing's not been legal. They're still doing it. So basically, and I've said this on the show before,
yes, you have,
that they're putting all this now into the business's hands for them to keep the data, so they can.
You did mention that.
So they can, but then that keeps the Freedom of Information Act, all that, because it's really up to the business to say, here are the requests that we've received. That's not part of the Freedom of Information Act. So they can go out and say, we want this data, and it's not part of, now we don't have to know that they've done that. So they're putting the burden on the businesses, which they're more than happy to comply. I don't know why. I don't know if they're getting some subsidy or kickback, but just know that it's hurting our rights, it's hurting technology, it's hurting everything all around.
All right, one more I guess we got time for. This is more aviation themed since my previous one was aviation themed. Who's here's used a selfie stick? Anybody in the room here?
Negative.
Okay. Anyway, there was a photo that leaked out on surfaced on Reddit by a user, and we'll put a link to this article in the show notes, not to Reddit, but to this article. But basically, an unidentified Aeromexico pilot recently decided to give the world a lesson on how to properly take a selfie using a selfie stick while hanging out the cockpit window. And it looks like he's at the end of the runway, about ready to take off, and this is like an Embraer 190, which is one of the little smaller regional jets, but. We'll have the picture and the link on the show notes.
That is awesome.
So he's sticking out the window with the selfie
This
stick.
is how you take it.
Google Translate can now instantaneously decipher text across 27 languages, and some of those are Croatian, Czech, Danish, Dutch, Filipino, Finnish, Hungarian, Indonesian, Lithuanian, Norwegian, Polish, Romanian,
Slovakian. Surely
it
English
says Slovak.
Slavic.
I knew it was Slavic.
Does it do Klingon?
They do Klingon too. Turkish and Ukrainian and Klingon.
And English.
Vulcan?
Is English in there?
I don't think Vulcan's on here. Of course they do English. It's from those two English. Nokia reveals Ozo, a futuristic new camera for filming virtual reality. So I'm not going to get into that, but you can look it up. It'll be in the show notes. It's a pretty cool camera. All right, now,
man, it's wow.
Yep. Now our
Time
picks.
flies.
Oh.
Go ahead, Guru. What's your pick?
My pick is the this is in honor of last week's Kepler 452b. This is the warp speed calculator, and we'll put a link to it. But anyway, Kepler 452b is 1,400 light years from here. So if you use the Star Trek Next Generation warp factor scale, warp factor 5, you could be there in 6.5 years. I figured it out with that. So there's my pick.
So, yeah, we didn't cover this last week, and I thought I did. But the Umatello is going to be mine. I've had it for about 1.5 years to 2 years now. I pay like $3 a month for my home telephone because it's just a VoIP, and I'm not paying. I'm just using I'm not paying Cable One $30 extra a month. But you can pay like $10 for their premium services, and you get a lot of great stuff with it. And one of the things that most people like is a blacklist, a community blacklist. So you can block telemarketers, and you can even create your own blacklist.
Motorola Moto X style. According to this, it's expected to be released sometime this year, maybe September. It's going to have it's a 5.7-inch phone. A 21 megapixel camera is suggested now.
Who needs a 21 megapixel camera?
Listen, 3 gigs of RAM, a Snapdragon 808. I think it's actually going to be loaded, buddy. It's going to have a 1632 or 64 gig storage. It's a micro SD card slot.
Heck yeah!
It's going to have a micro SD.
Yeah.
Hey, and 2 front-facing cameras. I'm sorry. I apologize. Speakers. That's what I meant to say.
Okay.
It is going to have
somebody besides HTC.
It's going to have a front-facing camera. It says and a flash for the front-facing camera, possibly. So these are all rumored to possibly be coming out on this
Now
fall.
you'll get blinded with your selfies.
Yes. Well, we're so glad you got to join us tonight, and we got an email and some text, and we appreciate you listening. Hey, don't forget, catch us next week. I'm going to have Karen Pinkert on. She suffers with low vision. She's going to come on and talk to us about how you can use technology to help you and all the different ways you can use technology to help those who suffer with low vision. So catch us next week. We really enjoyed it. Have a great night.
Bruce won't be here. He's on vacation. Stay with us, Greg McVicker and Undercurrents right here on
Hey
WLJS
Techies Show.
91.9.
Hey Techies Show.
The Hey Techies Show is produced by Mike Stedham and co-produced by The Guru. Station manager is Billy Dunn. Professional introductions by me.
This is 91.9 FM, WLJS Jacksonville, your cure for common radio.